Hello and welcome back to another Famisafe video. Today's discussion topic will be exciting as it is one of the most debatable and frequently discussed topics among parents and children. And the topic is, what age should a child get a phone? Well, actually, this is not just the only topic that we will be discussing today. Let me ask you something. If you have kids or if you plan to have them in the future, what do you think is the perfect age for them to have a phone? Or at what age did you have your own phones? Do you remember? So this is going to be our topic of discussion today. We will talk about the different options if your kid is under the age of 12, until what age should you wait until you give your kids one phone. Also, how you can talk to your kids about using their phones responsibly. And lastly, we will also introduce an application that will ensure your child's online security. But before we get started, don't forget to click on that like button and share and comment down below, and make sure to subscribe to our channel for more interesting and beneficial everyday videos. Okay, now let's get started. What are the options if my kid is under 12? Now, in this discussion of whether a child should have a cell phone, the first aspect is to know what can be the alternatives of phones for a kid, especially when the child is below 12 years old. Phones are certainly one of the most irreplaceable parts of our lives, and it has also found their way to be important in the lives of the kids. But as we all know, phones are the necessary evils. They are essentially but have numerous disadvantages. So what can be the possible alternative options for a kid who is under 12 years old? First, GPS smartwatches. If your prime objective is to keep track of your child and see their location for safety or various other reasons, then GPS smartwatches are the best alternatives. They do not allow any screen time, nor do they have any disadvantages of having a mobile phone, and it serves just the purpose of tracking your child's location. Second, limited screen time on television. If your objective is to offer some refreshing and relaxing time for your kids, then replacing your kids' screen time on mobiles with television might help, but you must ensure that you are stipulating their screen time. Otherwise, it will be as ineffective as giving your child a smartphone. Third, books. Yes, books, they are the best possible alternative for smartphones. It gives them hours of refreshment, opens their mind, thinks abstractly, and helps them build a vast range of vocabulary. Thus, if you question whether children should have cell phones, then books are the best alternative for them. When should I wait to get my kid a phone? Your kid needs to own a phone sometimes. They are necessary for education and refreshment purposes. But there are times when you must wait to give your kid a phone. So apart from knowing when kids should get a phone, you must also know when you should restrict them from having them. Let's discuss this aspect now. 1. When your child has not yet learned to be responsible. We all know that right now, smartphones are pretty expensive, no matter how old their model or version is. And when you buy a smartphone, because now there is no other option for phones than a smartphone, you will want that to be safe. So if you know that your child is yet to learn to handle things responsibly, giving your child a smartphone is a big no. Well, it is alright for a kid of 12 to not learn how pricey a smartphone can be, so it is your responsibility to ensure when a kid should get a phone, especially when they are yet to learn responsible handling of pricey things. 2. when your kids' social relations are not that great. We all understand that kids can be naive but mischievous. They do things without thinking of the consequences. And later, when they grow up, they understand that those mischiefs were actually bullying. So you must be aware of the social relations your kid has. If he is a bully or is a victim of bullying, owning a smartphone can make things worse for the child. Through social media, they might get heavily influenced, which might affect your child adversely. 3. When screen time is already affecting your child. The most worrisome reason behind asking how old should a kid be to get a phone is the factor of screen time. Once a kid gets stuck on screen time, it isn't easy to reduce it. And prolonged screen time has numerous adverse effects on a child. They lose the ability to think only. Their imaginative skills dry up. They no longer find a world beyond the screen, and many more such side effects sustain. Therefore, if you see your child overusing the screen time, readily and immediately restrict your child from having their smartphone. How do I talk to my child about using their phone responsibly? When discussing the question of whether kids should have cell phones in school, we must know how we can communicate to our kids about our intentions. Otherwise, they often tend to misunderstand us and think we are trying to restrict them at will, which is not the case. So here are some tips. Strike a conversation. Talk to them about their day. Be more interested in listening to them than speaking until they want you to. Engaging them in different activities. Enrolling them in games, dancing, and singing will lessen their free time, which they will use as a screen time. Be open to them. Talk to your child and let them know why you are trying to limit them from their phones. Discuss with them the topic, what is the best age to get a phone, so that they understand. Lastly, when allowing your child to use a smartphone, you must have some phone rules for kids. But beyond these rules, you also must ensure their online safety, which is most effective through Famisafe. This app enables you to monitor your child's screen time and modify it accordingly. You can keep an eye on their online activities, set screen time, and even track their location. Thus, it becomes the best way to allow your child to enjoy their smartphone while ensuring optimum online safety. So here we reach the end of our video of at what age a child should get a phone. According to research and studies, the ideal age for you giving your children a smartphone is 12. At the same time, some studies suggest that it is 14. So we can generalize the age range to be between 12 and 14. Although we understand that smartphones help the kids engaged, it helps track their location and also help them build a social life, the adversities are equally ugly. If you offer your child their personal smartphone, ensure that it is not before the age of 12 and 14, and at the same time ensure to instill strict mobile rules to keep them safe in every possible aspect. We hope you liked our video, and if you did, please click on the like, share, and subscribe buttons, and also comment down below your favorite part of the video or any ideas you may have for our next video. Thank you so much for watching, and see you the next time. Bye bye.